welcome.
Welcome.
I'm going to say welcome to you first. Welcome, Mr. Rankin.
Why, thank you very much, and welcome to you.
Welcome, audience. Welcome, everyone out there on our Facebook, on YouTube. Welcome to Here to Help You. So this is our second show. I'd like to say that I'm not nervous, but I'd be lying.
You're lying right now? Is that what you're saying?
Yes. Because I am a little nervous,
Well,
you know?
That makes two of us.
Honestly, before we start, I want to thank everyone. Last week, you know what, we had about 125 views.
Yes.
On our video for the very first week. That's awesome, and that's because of you guys. So thank you so much for that. We really, really appreciate it.
That is so true. And as well as, the outpouring of support.
Oh,
the
wow.
well-wishing,
Wow.
the personal messages, the public messages.
Yes.
We thank you all for doing that.
Thank you so much. Like it's appreciated. You have no idea. Like it has taken us both a while to get to this point, right?
And we're still not used to the camera being up in our face.
I'm used to it.
Well, some of us like to take pictures. You know what I'm saying?
I love camera, but I know it's different, but it's good.
It is.
Right? It's refreshing.
That's for sure.
So today on Here to Help You, what we're going to be doing, we're going to kind of do a quick review for those who have not watched it. You can go on my TCN TV.
Yes.
It's a network on YouTube. And you will see videos from not just from Here to Help You, but from other TV show hosts as well.
Correct.
There's a few of them. There's about 12 videos on there now. So there's some variety.
It's ever growing, yes.
And it's different things. It's business.
Yes.
It's inspirational.
Yes.
There's real estate. There's a lot going on.
And shout out to Miss Keisha, right?
Yes, girl. You've had a great show last week. So these are the listen. We're doing some big things over here.
That's for sure.
We are.
Yes, we are.
So today what we want to do is, last week we had a guest, which was an amazing experience, Mrs. Tandiwe Chimarenga, and she's from the All African People's Revolutionary. You okay over there?
Yeah, man. Just making sure I get comfortable. You know what I'm saying?
Doing all this adjusting?
Yes, man.
The All African People's Revolutionary Party.
Correct.
And it was a great show. It was our very first guest, and wow, that alone.
Wow, I'm very amazed and very touched in regards to her, taking the time out. By means, Miss Sandaway, thank you so much for taking the time to come out.
Of course.
Her responses, unbelievable. We definitely attempted, and I think we definitely were, correct.
Yes.
Right, in making sure that we weren't asking those regular questions.
Yeah, they're so boring.
Okay, so
everyone does the same
what it is
thing.
that you do.
What do you do?
Right. And
what were you inspired by to get here? Which they're great questions,
yeah,
mind
there's
you.
nothing wrong with that, definitely.
But let's get in.
Yes, I think we definitely satisfy the masses.
I think so.
Right. And Ms. Sandaway's feedback to us is that, we definitely challenge her to go ahead and think deeper beyond the surface.
That's the goal.
Yes.
We want you guys to be thinking deeper.
Yes.
Right? So that's awesome. So alongside that, obviously we had to follow up with something, and we were going to do the whole scramble for a guest, and we're going to be very real with you guys here on Here to Help You. We were going to, and we had some strong guests we could have had on,
Yes, Uncle Louis, don't wash no face. We are going to get this sorted out. I guarantee this, my friend.
And we are going to have you on, but what we thought we would do today is we are going to let you know, our audience, we're going to let you guys know exactly what to expect from Here to Help You, from Dave and myself.
Yes.
Now, it is a little bit of a change from Care 101 as a TV,
yes.
right?
Yes.
So we have to offer you something. We have to make sure we are giving to you so that you watch, right? So what better way to do it than to speak to Toronto?
That's right.
Because there's a lot happening here in Toronto.
There's so much going on.
And today we are going to preview only a bit of it. We can only touch a few places, but
right.
We're going to be letting you know what you're going to be expecting on Here to Help You when you watch us. You know what? At the end of this show, you're going to realize that, especially if you're a business owner, even if you're not a business owner, if you're out there just doing what you need to do, you could just end up on our show and not even realize it happens like that.
Correct.
And this is obviously great because everyone knows in order for work to be done, we have to take action.
That's correct.
Right? So we are here to help. We're going to take some
action. That's
so,
right.
Show expectations. What can you expect? You can expect community leadership.
Correct.
So we'll be having we've already had one political
member right.
in here.
Uh-huh.
So we'll be having a few more of those. We'll be hoping to, of course, focus on the African community.
Yes.
Right? What else can we expect? Business owners.
Mm-hmm. You know, the of course, you're just starting the business out. You know, those
New
less than
business.
5 years. You know, the new business.
Not small business.
That's correct. Not small, but new.
New business.
That's right. You know,
Yes.
those who've been well established within the community as well. By all means, we want you to come on, right, and
Yes.
tell your story.
We need
Yeah.
to hear it. So we'll be inviting a lot of new business owners on. We'll be inviting people who've been established in the business because, of course, here it's about learning. Here
That's
to help
right.
you is about learning and sharing. So obviously, what I've noticed with social media, even within the YouTube pages that are popular, what they do is they give. So that the audience has something they can take from every time they watch. So
There
we
you go.
want to give that to, we want to deliver that to you as well. We want to be able to give
Yes.
and, you know, learn from you as well. So one thing that we are going to be doing is making sure that we stay interactive with you. We are live streaming on YouTube.
Hold on, let me pick up the device. Here we go. See the device? We're screening right now. We're doing everything that we should be doing to interact with our community.
So you listen, if as we're going on, if you know a business that you think should be featured, if you know a person that should be featured on our show, interact with us, leave a comment if you have suggestions. Something that we are not afraid of here is criticism. Criticism can be looked at in two different ways, negatively or positively.
Correct.
I like to take all criticism positively because you know what? Even if I don't like what I hear and I'm in my feelings a little bit,
Just a little bit.
sometimes a lot of it. It doesn't matter though because I learn from it.
Right.
I may be in my feelings, but once I come out of it, I'm just like, you know what, that person had a point. So please feel free to go on, leave a comment. During the commercial breaks, we will obviously either answer the comments and we'll even speak back to you. So
That's
we're going
right.
to keep this as interactive
Yes,
as possible. Another very positive thing about watching the Here to Help You.
I'm telling you.
So our target audience is going to be, let's see,
Members of our community.
members of our community, and
Yeah.
that includes elders, that
Everybody.
includes children,
Yes.
that includes parents, that
Yes.
includes singles. I'm sure we're going to be diving into a whole bunch
a
of
lot.
different topics. We're going to be talking a lot about mental health in our community. We're going to be talking about couples, relationships.
Especially interracial. You know,
Oh.
that's going to be a theme coming up sooner or later here, and we would definitely love our community response.
Yes, we sure that will be a very interesting show.
Well, you know, everybody's got their own perspective, right?
An opinion on
And
everything.
That as well.
But you know what? We offer it. We offer you the ability to express your opinion freely
That's
and
right.
know that we are not going to critique or judge you. We may catch some jokes off of you. We won't catch jokes off of you. No, honestly, we'll take in everything that the community has to say because that's what we are here
That's right.
for. Okay? So mental health we'll be looking into, interracial relationships between in the African community, single motherhood, single fatherhood, African history,
History, yes.
business,
Yes. Economics, yes.
economics. We'll be talking a lot about economics, music, the entertainment industry.
That's right.
The legal
Side of
industry.
things.
We'll be going into the legal. So there's not an industry that we're not going to be able to hit at
That's correct.
on Here to Help You. So now that we've kind of talked about the scripts and what we're going to be doing and our target, I'm going to put something out to everybody.
Go ahead.
So I would like to say this. We've asked for you to stay interactive with us. One of the first challenges that we're going to give any watchers right now is to give us a show idea.
Excellent idea.
Yeah.
Excellent idea.
Give us some show ideas. Like, when do you have an opportunity to, like,
to have an input.
really have an input on something on social media?
Yes.
You know, if you're a business out there and you're hungry, reach out to us. That's my challenge for people
All right.
today. So, what will we be talking about in today's show? Let's do this before we go on a commercial break, okay?
Yes, we will.
Today's show. So your challenge, remember your challenge. Anyone who's watching the show right now, or if they do, you see the replay after, send us your comments or give us some ideas, some show ideas, okay? Today's show, we'll be looking at a few different aspects. We're going to be today focusing on education.
Yes.
We're going to be looking at business.
Yes.
In the education and the business section, we're going to be looking at different organizations within the community who are doing things.
That's correct.
They need to be acknowledged. A complaint that I hear a lot in our community is that there is a lot of talk and not enough action. So I want to show everybody that there are people who are acting here in Toronto. They're actually doing things. We may not hear about it again, because I just don't think sometimes we have that platform.
Correct. It is something that, a lot of our people are definitely, they have their mindset in regards to how they go ahead and promote themselves.
Yes.
Right. And of course, to come out of that mindset, to change that direction so that now it's widely accessible, it's a work in progress.
But we're going to help you work through that.
Yes, we will.
So we'll be doing a little bit of that. We will also be talking about African history. And
yes,
maybe you can kind of preview, because we were somewhere on Friday night.
Yes, we were.
We'll talk about that really quickly. I know you're not going to go into details until after, but how about we kind of talk about where we were on Friday night?
Yes, we were at the Royal Ontario Museum. We reserved.
Sounds spiffy, doesn't it?
Doesn't it? Just for real,
We are so cultured.
I'm telling you, I had to almost put on a bow tie. I tell you. Right. So with the Royal Ontario Museum, Dr. George Sifa Day was giving a lecture on colonialism of our information, right, and African scholarship, and as well as museums. So we're going to touch on a little bit of that. I know you took some notes. We definitely jotted a few things down.
Yes.
You probably don't remember anything you wrote down. Don't worry, we'll wing it. That's for sure.
I don't remember anything. I remember it being very informative.
Yes. Once you start getting a certain, let me backtrack just a moment. Once us as a people, now we begin to go out to these type of social events where we're now hearing our scholars, right? It's amazing to see the work that they've done, let alone, at the time they took to go ahead and put together a presentation or a lecture, right? The type of information that's inputted in such a short span of time. And of course, the networking opportunities afterwards.
Oh my gosh, yeah, that's cool.
Yes.
And the type of questions we heard.
Oh man, I tell you, you know what? Like, it was a wonderful experience. Once again, Trish, thank you so much for the tickets.
Thanks for the tickets, Trish. Sorry, I had to put that out there. It was fun though.
It was fun.
It's part of being, again, this is what happens when you're in community. You get these little perks, things like being able to go to these events and
sure,
mingle with our community.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Uncle Louis, no, enough, yes.
So let's just explain who Uncle Louis is before we go on our commercial break.
Yes, Louis March. He was a member of the ACHA, that is the African Canadian Heritage Association, one of the longest standing, if not the longest standing, African-centered school here in North America. He's now part of the Zero Gun movement, the gun violence movement.
Okay.
Right. We were looking to have him on the show.
Yeah.
By means, the logistics just simply didn't work out. That's what we've continued to say. Don't watch no face. You are definitely going to be here at some point in time. We're going to make this work. We are resourceful people, and trust me, we will make this work.
See you soon. We'll be on back from break soon. Thank you.
Thank you.
In a sea of people, it's easy to get lost amongst all the stories we have to tell. With this platform, a new voice is being heard, one that offers real insight to transform, educate, and inspire greatness, always building, nurturing, and evolving with the times. Our goal is to make a statement, to transform the world, and engage all of its citizens. Accepting multiculturalism is taking the first step, and listening to each other, uniting towards positive change. It's not about any one race, religion, or culture, but about uplifting and empowering one another. Standing above segregation is our game. Our vision is to expand, to create and implement change, zeroing in on what matters the most, banding together to preserve and celebrate our heritage, cultures, and community spirit. Become inspired by real people, your friends and family, and see that impact within our society. Be proud of the work we have done together. Community focused, we are the Toronto Caribbean newspaper.
Welcome back everyone to Here to Help You. So
Yes.
We're brand new. So you know what? There's going to be little
No, man, you have to see it like a Jamaican, Your new brand.
We are new brand.
Thank you very much.
So because we are new brand, There's going to be little things that happen. And you know what the great thing is, though? You can just catch jokes and keep moving.
Keep it moving, that's for sure.
The show must
go on,
that's regardless of the hiccups that we have, okay?
Don't worry, we'll
we
go
thank
ahead.
our team.
We'll laugh about it later.
We'll laugh about it later, and we thank our team for everything they do. We appreciate you.
Yes.
All right, so let's get going.
Education.
Let's start hitting our very first type of topics that we'll be looking at on the show for the next few months. So the very first section we're going to focus on is the education section.
Yes.
Okay, so Here to Help You. Where did this name come from? So Here to Help is actually an organization. Let me get my words together here.
No problem.
An organization that Dave and I work for. And this organization goes out into the community. We do tutoring.
Yes.
Tutoring and mentoring in the high-risk communities. Do you know why I did this?
Yes, I do.
Okay.
Yes, I do. It's another, terrible label that
Euphemism?
they went ahead. Well, thank you. I was going to say that, but yeah, it's a terrible label what they went ahead and implied, right?
So we mentor and tutor in the high-risk areas. We also offer. Oh my goodness, we do a lot. How did I forget it? How do I forget what we do as a company?
We do a whole lot. Legal.
We do a lot. Yes,
we do
legal
a little bit
hub.
of legal.
Let's talk about that.
Yes.
So there are some areas that we decided to target as an organization.
Correct.
And one of the areas is the legal
advice. Yes.
Legal advice, legal counsel. Something that unfortunately us as Africans in this diaspora in North America, we have a lot of run-ins with the law. And unfortunately, many of us have no idea what to do when we have a run-in with the law.
Yes.
So what our organization does is we offer legal counsel, would you say? I wouldn't say counsel because that's pushing it.
Advice.
It's legal advice.
Great.
So you know what? We have someone on our team. I'm going to big her up right now. Ms. Brittany Channer. Travelers. And she is a aspiring lawyer.
Yes.
She is on her way to law school and she does a lot of our legal work for us.
Correct.
She's dedicated.
Very.
She's wanted to be a lawyer since she was 4. So you can say already that this girl has some years into what she wants to do.
Of course.
And of course, she allows to, especially with some of our clients, they are not from Canada, so they don't have an idea sometimes about the system here. So she does sit down with them if they have questions about contracts that they may have or any paperwork that they have from the government. She sits down with them and she works with them on that.
That's right.
Right?
Provides
she also
advice.
helps me because I don't know about some of this stuff. So I'm just like, whenever I get a contract put at me, I'm just like, Brittany, handle this, please. Make sure everything is crossed, everything is dotted, and that I'm not going to get in any trouble. So,
which she has done so well thus far.
She's very, very good at that. So that's just some of the stuff that we do. We also, which we'll go into a little bit later, have a part of Here to Help called Project Invest.
Yes.
And this was built off the idea of investing back into our community. As a community, we spend a lot of our money outside of the community. It goes into every other community but our own. I think how long does $1 last in our community? I think they had it down to like timing, didn't they?
Like it's got to be like probably close to a minute, maybe if not less.
And then it's gone.
And then it's gone.
Recycled. It's cycled out of the community. So with Project Invest, we'll go into a lot more detail. What we've decided to do with that company or with that part of Here to Help is to invest. So Brittany actually is also in charge of this section of it.
Go on with it, Travelers.
And what she does is she picks a local company. Sometimes she goes out of the country. She does American companies as well.
Right.
Anything that is African based. And we as an organization invest into this company. And we promote them on our social medias, and we speak about them. So it's, again, something showing, again, not just speaking. We speak a lot about Black Wall Street.
Yes.
Like, I see posts about Black Wall Street all the time.
Correct.
Right?
Yeah.
And you know what? It's something that was possible. It was done before. And I don't know whether it's fear or a lack of resources. I'm not too sure why we haven't been able. Why do you think we haven't been able to do that again, Dave? Why do you think that we haven't been able to acquire a Black Wall Street?
We've been in survival mode for a very long time.
Okay.
Right. From the slave trade, to, of course, the abolishment of slavery, to the Industrial Revolution, to racism, in all fronts and all 9 areas, as Neely Fuller would go ahead and designate. But by means, we've been fighting battles on so many fronts that we have yet to go ahead and and establish what we need to do as a people.
Okay.
Right? We say it in small pockets, but yet the unison that it does require, right, is not to say unattainable, but a lot of us just don't see the end goal.
Okay.
Right.
Which makes sense.
Right.
It makes sense.
Of course.
So we are trying to create an image of that end goal.
Yes.
Right. We're actually doing it. We're investing back as much as we can into our community. And we do a monthly showing of it, but it's something that we do in our daily lives as well.
Correct.
We do our best where, we'll be like, okay, I could go here, but you know what? I'm going to spend it here. I'm going to spend it in my own community.
Right.
And make sure the money's going back into my own community.
Right.
So along with that, I guess we can talk about it later. Tutoring, summer school is coming up.
Yes, parents must be definitely scratching their heads on what to do
They're
for
like,
the summer.
What do I do? What to do? Where do we go? What to do? So some ideas. Okay, I will speak about it first. So here to help you, obviously, we begin our registration next week.
Next week.
And that's for anyone who, we've had a lot of parents who like to push their children forward an extra year. So if your child's going to grade 5, prepare them for grade 5. So by the time they get to grade 5, it's not like, oh my gosh. It's more like, oh, okay, we saw this already. We saw this summer. It's a good way to kind of keep their minds going during the summertime because we can turn into vegetables when we're not when we're not doing anything. And children are very good at doing that.
Or ostriches by looking straight at the tablet.
Look at the tablet like
not
this
doing
and not
anything
moving.
else.
Yeah, so we need to get them out, even if it's for an hour or 2 hours a week. Get them doing something with their minds.
That's correct.
Right? There's another great organization who does that. It's Camp. I'm not going to say this wrong. Camp Jamoke.
Jamoke? We have different ways of saying it. But I think we established that from last week as well, right? You say Jamoke by means, I can say Jamoke.
It's true. We did learn there's different ways. I'm going to say it because yours sounds better and it's probably correct.
Who knows?
Camp Jamoke.
Camp Jamoke.
They are they have a summer camp
that
they have organized every year.
Mm-hmm.
They just finished having a sickle cell disease awareness.
Okay.
And that was recently held at Nathan Phillips Square on June the 3rd.
Okay.
So for more details, obviously, on Camp Jamoke, they do their next event is a walkathon, which is coming up on the Ontario Place grounds. That's happening in October.
Okay.
So Camp Jamoke, obviously, they have summer camp programs available for students in the summertime, and that's, again, in our community. So it's something that
we can look forward to.
Some options for our parents.
There you go.
Right? Mm-hmm. To get in contact with them, you can check out their website. It's www.jomoke.org.
Yes.
You can learn anything else you need to learn about them from that website.
That's for sure.
But I love the idea that they have. I love the fact that we have an African-centered camp that our children can go to.
Right.
That's kind of cool. Keep them busy.
And to piggyback off of that, the Ontario Alliance of Black School Educators, they've also released their summer camp directory.
Okay.
Yeah.
So explain that. What's a summer camp directory?
Well, it's broken down by region. So, of course, Toronto East, Toronto West, Peel, of course, further east, like Whitby, Oshawa, that sort of areas, right?
Okay.
And where, once again, African-centered summer camps, right? So by means, Camp Jamoke may be located in one central area, right? And it may be a little bit too far.
Okay, so we have options.
There are options.
We have options. Okay,
yes.
I see a word free here. What was that free about?
Yes, it's free for download. You just go to their website.
Okay.
You can go ahead and download it, and by means, you have access to their information.
As well, I think since we're talking about the Black educators, they're having an end of school social.
Yes.
And this is being put on by, we've had a guest. He is a great guy.
Yes,
I swear, like him and I have some interesting conversations. I'm sure he'll appreciate this show because it is a show on action.
Yes.
Mr. Robert Small.
Big up yourself.
Big up yourself, Mr. Robert Small. He is part of the Black Educators.
Yes, he is.
And the group is called, the Ontario Alliance of Black School Educators, to be more exact. Him and Warren Salmon.
Yes.
Both are involved in this. So again, if you want any information on that, sir, do you have some information for them?
Yes, their website, www.onabse.org. Once again, that's www.onabse.org. And also, if you have any type of business establishment by me that is catered to summer camps and you want to get included in the directory, please email them at parents@onabse.org. onabse.org.
That was great.
Thank you.
That was pretty good.
Not bad, huh?
Let's go back to the social.
Go right ahead.
It's happening on June 23rd. That was
Yes.
so official, by the way, that cross off.
That cross off?
It's-
I've been watching Ron Burgundy.
So, that was very official.
Awesome.
All right, so their event's going to be on Friday, June 23rd from 6:30 until 11 o'clock p.m. And it's at Fuse Restaurant, which is 366 Queen Street East. And this is going to be hosted by the African Heritage Educators Network, the Alliance of Educators for Black Students, and, of course, the Ontario Alliance of Black School Educators.
Yes.
So, events. And this, I think with this event, with the end of school social, this is more catered, I'm guessing, towards the parents?
Maybe parents, of course, definitely towards educators as well.
Educators, definitely.
Right. Considering
Okay.
that it's early evening to late evening, so by means, it's a great networking event. So for those who are looking for, of course, the educators looking for, I guess, for strategies, and as well just looking just to meet new people in the area, right?
And even parents who
Exactly.
I guess who are looking maybe to sit down with some educators, because I know sometimes with parents, they just don't know where to go when it
Exactly.
comes to certain things. Okay, we have a commercial break coming up, but I want to quickly mention a place that we'll talk in more detail about after when we go and we talk about Project Invest.
No worries.
The Ujima House?
Ujima House, yes.
Ujima. You're better at this. The
Oh,
Ujima House.
If it's tell you, we've established it already. Sometimes we go ahead and pronounce things in a different tone, right? To make it
Or
sound
I'm
a
just
bit different.
wrong.
I don't know if you're wrong. Maybe I could be wrong.
So the Ujima House.
There you go.
I'm very happy with those organizations. You know what? I'm not going to talk about this. I'm just going to mention that we're going to be mentioning about what they do
After the break?
right after our commercial
There we
break.
go.
Okay? Anything else before we go off?
No, not at all. Let's go to break.
See you soon.
All great leaders begin with a vision to start a movement, to make a real impact in society, communicating their message and aligning themselves with like-minded people to equip and inspire others to attain their vision. Creating a vital, healthy community is a group effort, and at the heart of it, you'll find local businesses and organizations fueled by committed people who are passionate about building a better tomorrow for us all. The Toronto Caribbean newspaper has started their own movement, promising to focus on the needs of the community, seeking out relationships with businesses and corporations that share in that same mission. We are legacy builders with one shot to make a difference, and together we can empower the community by adding value, instilling self-worth, and showcasing the cultural identity of our beautiful and ethnically diverse community. As business leaders, we have a corporate responsibility to set the tone of our community with principles led by performance-focused results. By combining our reach, we can provide a platform to establish and share our contributions with the world. We are all people working for companies that are interested in building a better community, helping people stand tall and be proud of their culture. If anybody has ever done it, then you can too. We are all capable, and working together, combining our skills and resources, we can make a change and leave behind an unforgettable legacy.
Welcome back to Here to Help You. If you are just joining us, I'd like to, of course, introduce my co-host, the Don Dave Rankin.
Alongside the Donette, Simone Smith.
You know what I really miss
Go
before
on.
we go any further?
Tell me now.
Our music.
I know.
I have I always feel like I need to come in
You're right.
with a 1-2, and I don't even have one.
Maybe let's put it out there. Listen, those producers who definitely want to go ahead and send us some free instrumentals, hint, hint, wink, wink, nudge, nudge, so we can go ahead and air and use it as part of our intros or transitions between commercials.
That'd
Please
be
send it our
wonderful.
way.
please.
Yeah, look
Post
at us.
a comment.
That by means contact us. We'll definitely reach out to you. Send us a submission, and we'll
Yeah, we
man.
need some background music. Like I'm a person who needs to come in with like a little bit of a
You know, we're spirited people, you know, and,
Yeah,
and the sound
man.
of the drum and the rhythm and the bass line definitely helps us and keeps us going. You know what I'm saying?
If you're just joining us now, we've just been talking about what you're going to expect here, watching Here to Help You. We want to make sure that we're offering everything we can to our community. We want to make sure we keep it interactive. We want to make sure that you have a voice, because I know that's something that people sometimes just don't feel like they have a voice. So we want to give that to you. So today we're talking about certain organizations in our community who are not only speaking but acting.
Yes.
So we left just before break speaking about the, can you say it please?
No, you're going to say it. Come on.
Ujima House?
Very good. Very good. Very good.
Respectfully, I do my best, okay? What I really like about this organization is the fact that they're focused towards men.
Yes.
They're focused towards not just men, but a very special type of man.
That's right.
A father.
Fathers.
This organization, they basically teach fathering skills.
Parental,
And
yes.
parental father skills. And it's, again, African-centered.
Correct.
Who knew this type of stuff was happening in Toronto? I didn't.
You know, and they say, you know what, Dr. Amos Wilson once said that, you know, for family issues that are developed within the family, right, it takes about 7 generations for these issues to be absolved, right? And of course, the new generation of family takes over, right? By taking advantage of something like this, of a support system such as this, we give our children a better fighting chance.
Absolutely.
Right?
Yes.
From, of course, you know, all the social conditioning, psychosocial issues that we've seen, you know, and experienced, you know, those going back to, of course, European psychology, the first interaction with the Europeans.
Which we will be going into
at some point in time, definitely.
Believe me, because I was trained in the European psychology.
Right.
That's majority of my educational base, so I know a lot about how they've used that.
Right.
Of course.
You know, and of course, you know, looking at it from an African-centered psychology as well.
Yes.
And how to pair, if not how one overrides the other, right? And
how they're similar.
Exactly.
How we can use one to benefit the other.
Exactly. Right. And especially in regards to like now witnessing like arguments and conflict in the home and how this affects children, right? I watched this interview at this presentation lecture, right, from a doctor in the States on TED Talk. And she said that, you know what, for a child witnessing any type of violence or any type of conflict in the home, this reduces the lifespan of a child.
Wow.
Right? Just by
Yeah.
witnessing it, not in regards to that child now being subjected towards it, but just by witnessing it, this reduces the lifespan of a child in the home. So by means, the Ujima House, right, which is offering once again the support system. So if you are a father figure, if you want to be a father, if you are a father and simply don't want to become a better father, link them.
Now they have a 8-week program, parenting program.
There we go.
That starts, registration is open until November 1st, and it's called Super Dads, Super Kids.
Yeah.
So that's pretty cool.
That's very, very nice.
That's very cool. So we are going to go into...
Actually, before that,
yes.
Their phone number?
Oh.
Yes.
Let me tell you where you can find them, of course. Thank you. See, this is why you're here.
2 heads are better than one?
Absolutely. And sometimes my head's in the clouds. So it's 1901 Weston Road, and that's Unit 18. And you can reach them at 416-916-2512. To those at the Ujima House, keep doing what you're doing. We are proud of you. You
Yes,
are
we
doing
are.
great things, and we will talk more. Hopefully one day we can have someone from the Ujima House on the show.
Yes.
That'd be awesome. That's my goal. I want to get as many actors out there, active people,
Active.
as possible.
Correct.
Okay,
That's
so
for sure.
now we can move on.
Yes.
Go ahead, sir. This is the section I'd like to call Dave's section.
Oh,
Because-
really?
Because this is where Dave specializes.
Oh, well, thank you very much.
Turning over to Dave now.
Thanks, Serge. As some of you may know, I am part of a 3-member team Miss Simone Smith, as well as Brother Shaduzi. We are cultural educators, and we hold a class on the last Sunday of every month, which is the class is an African Studies class, where we look at history and, of course, our spirituality as a people. We look at it from not just our standpoint in regards to our African-centered scholars, but we are looking at, of course, thought process, which is totally opposite as well. So that Eurocentric dominant thought process, those thoughts, those philosophies, those authors which have survived the courses,
yes,
right? Our classes are held at the Spot Youth Center inside of Yorkgate Mall, which is the upper level right beside the dental area, I believe.
Yes.
Right across
from Dollarama.
There we go.
I just know that because I go and buy chips after. Continue.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
All right. The time for the class is at 11:30 a.m. through to 1:30 p.m. This mall is in the Jane and Finch area. Please, by means, come through.
High risk. I'll stop. I'll stop.
There's a lot of wonderful people in these areas.
I'm in that area. It's a wonderful place.
Yes, I'm in that area. Of course, we cover the whole week between our schedules. That's for sure, right? But by means, you know what? For those who are interested, come out. We do our best to go ahead and try and stream the classes. If not, put something up a little bit afterwards.
Yes.
We stream it through my Facebook page, Dave Rankin. By means, it's Simone Smith.
You can also find it. I'm always saying something. Anyone on my page knows that. I'm always saying something.
We also stream through our Instagram page as well, African Studies, Brother Shaduzi. Thank you very much for your efforts in that regards. Right. And once again, of course, we're looking at, of course, authors that display our greatness, and we brought a few of those books.
Yes, Dave brought books.
Yeah.
Important books. So I
show
want
and tell.
Show
right?
and tell. So let's go over some of the things. These are the type of things that you're going to show us right now that you use to teach the class.
Right.
Okay, go ahead. Let's see what you got.
From a historic standpoint, and as well as when we're looking at African-centered in regards to unity and building a plan for unity, this book right here, The Destruction of Black Civilization.
I can hold it while you speak on it.
Why, thank you.
I'll be Vanna Black.
Vanna Black. We'll leave that one alone. The author's name is Chancellor Williams. Wonderful gentleman. Very, very profound work. There is a second volume to this book. However, though, this is the only book that did have a plan at the back of the book. And it is something that should be reviewed constantly for anybody, any type of organization, anybody who wants to go ahead and see us as a people continue to thrive, if not, of course, arise out of our current conditions.
And where can we order a book like this, Mr. Rankin?
You know what? We have African-centered libraries, schools, bookstores. By means, Knowledge Bookstore is one. Now Valley Books is another. Different Book List is another one as well. You know what?
And this one was only $19.95.
Yes, but. Do remember, of course,
inflation.
Yes, it does, right? Because sometimes the books go out of print or scarce. We're talking about a piece of literature where this gentleman, the author, he went blind.
Wow.
During the research of this work. This was supposed to be an extended volume, right? And because he found out that if he's losing his eyesight, he decided to put out this volume first, right? And so he condensed this actual work. So by means, it is something that we have to add to our library, and by means continue to add to our legacy.
So that is The Destruction of Black Civilization by Chancellor Williams.
Yes.
All right. So that's our first one.
Right.
Ooh, this one I like. This is my favorite.
One of your favorite authors. Dr. Amos Wilson, Blueprint for Black Power.
Still has a tag on it, eh?
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah, it's in pristine condition.
This thing is huge.
It's well close to 1,000 pages of research. The good doctor, trained psychologist, African warrior scholar. This is a blueprint for our power. Once again, it'll coincide with, of course, the previous book, which we went ahead and stated, The Destruction of Black Civilization. The two of them are a mainstay in regards to our library, once again, for our organization as a people anywhere in this world.
I like it because it's psychology. Again, for me, most of my psychology.
Yes.
This is what happens when I'm tired. Most of my psychology is European based. But you know what's funny? I'm almost glad that I learned the European first because it allowed me to see how they use psychology to condition us.
Right.
So now it's almost like the European psychology was how they conditioned us.
Yes.
And then this allowed me to learn to uncondition myself from that psychology.
That's
so
correct.
this is awesome. This is a great book. Really good book for anyone who is a psychologist, even for European psychologists. You might learn something from this.
That's correct.
Right?
That's correct.
Okay, what's your next?
Right.
Our next library book, and this one is a little bit more expensive.
All right, those are American prices, so definitely.
Lord.
Yes.
This one. This
But
will cost you.
it's worth the investment.
It's worth it though. Yes.
All right. Next, we're looking at general African history in regards to civilizations. This is a mainstay, Introduction to African Civilizations by John G. Jackson. Nothing could be said any further from, of course, the implementation, the type of research, the type of work that went into this piece of work, this literature here. You know, all of our scholars, our champion scholars, have used, if not some of this research, if not all of it, to go ahead and either construct or teach a class or a series of classes on the beginnings, of course, of prominent civilizations, flourishing African civilizations. Right?
Okay.
Once again, of course, it's worth the investment for your library.
This is not that expensive. This one is only like $21.95.
In American prices, yes.
No, it says Canada.
Canada.
Yeah, so this one's $21.95 Canadians money.
Canadians, right?
Okay.
Yes. Another one for general African history, right? Is this book right here, When We Ruled by Robin Walker. He's a British. He's out of, excuse me, not British, but however, he's based out of Britain, right? This book here, I can't even fathom in regards to like the type of research that would have went into something like this. This is constructed of a number of chapters, easy to read, easy to follow. In fact, anybody who is an educator, by means, pick up this book. There is a study guide that goes along with this book, so definitely when you are teaching and looking to go ahead and present questions, this is something definitely that you should use as part of your curriculum.
Okay, so we do have a couple more books, but we're going to do another quick break. We'll finish up the books that we do have for the African history section.
Yes, we will.
And then we will finale our show.
There we go.
We'll see you guys soon.
When we are born, the world is a foreign place. We have not yet mastered the use of our five senses, and our eyes cannot decipher the complexities of judgments we do not know. As children, our innocence allows us to see a world of endless possibilities. We thrive in the world of imagination, creating a place where everyone writes a unique story, and there is zero judgment, since everyone is the same, yet unique in their own way. Over the years, humanity has altered our ways of thinking, creating stigma, judgment, and prejudice based on the history of our ancestors. We have trained ourselves to believe that our history puts us at a disadvantage in society. Our unique and exotic classifications are a testament to the diversity of the world. History doesn't have a future. It's set in stone. The possibility for change lies in our responsibility to know our self-worth, learning from the history, embracing and honoring our heritage, while educating, inspiring, and empowering others to see past what's in front of them to the power inside. It's not about what you look like. It's about realizing the potential of humanity and recognizing the greatness in everyone. It's time to invest in solutions, change the conversation, and think differently about our future. Life isn't a competition of who can do better than the other. It's about eradicating prejudice, boosting self-esteem, discovering our identity, and carving out our own legacy while aspiring to achieve greatness.
Welcome back, welcome back. I've got good news. I've got good news.
But I mean, share.
I'm like a 3-year-old.
Only when you want to be.
Only when I want to be. So we had a comment on our, first of all, I want to thank the individual who did send in a comment. We appreciate you. And this is Akil.
Yes.
Okay, thank you for your comment. I am very happy that you're inspired. That's the whole point of this. Again, someone like you, send us your information, and send us your email address. You can leave it on the YouTube page, and let us get in contact with you. We appreciate you even having something to say, and it sounds like you're being inspired to do something. I wasn't able to really look over the message too much, but after we'll do so, we'll get in touch with you, okay? Even if we contact you on Facebook or whatever the case
There
might
you
be.
go. Yes.
We'll find you.
Yes, I'm sure we will.
All right, so we have a few things we want to fly through. We've discussed the education. We've discussed what Here to Help You is all about.
Yes.
We've discussed African studies.
We
have two more books we want to finish, which kind of hits education,
Yes.
Here to Help, and African studies together.
Yes.
So let's do that.
Yes, we've used these two pieces of literature for our students, especially in regards to reading and comprehension. The first here is African Myths and Folk Tales by the great Carter G. Woodson. Short stories, proverbs, you name it. Wonderful thing you can go ahead and use to captivate the mind of our young readers, and even some of us, young at heart. By means, it's full of like life lessons. I especially like the lesson regarding the story that is between the deer and the snail. There's a race that they do, and it shows the ingenuity between, of course, our African genius.
Okay.
Yes.
You know what that means?
No?
It's all right.
It's all right?
Don't worry. Read the book.
Yes, definitely
So
read the book.
don't give them any more.
You
That's
know,
the sneak preview.
That's the peak sneak view, yes.
The snail and the hare. What is it?
The snail and the deer.
Okay.
Yes.
Read the book.
Read the book.
All right. Good.
Our last piece of literature here today, Classical Africa by Dr. Malefe K. Asante. Another book,
Whoa.
Yes.
Very long name.
Well, you know what? A very, very stout gentleman, and when it comes to, of course, our African warrior scholars, he's written countless of materials. And by means, this one right here is a little bit older of a book. However, though, general knowledge does come with a very few questions at the end of each chapter. They're short, and once again, it's geared towards captivating the young audience. And these are two books that we do use between our students.
Awesome. So now you kind of have an idea of what we do here.
Yes.
Good. So let's hit a few things before our show ends. Again, we're encouraging you to interact with us. Again, please put up a post or put up a comment on the YouTube page. If you find this inspiring, share this out as well to someone else who you think this would inspire. Again, we are trying to get the community in here with us.
Yes.
Sitting right here.
That's
between
right.
us,
That's
okay?
right.
We want to talk to you, so you talk to us.
Plain
Right?
and simple.
Okay, so let's go over the event that we went to at the ROM.
Yes.
Some of the points in there we will be discussing as we go through our different shows with some of the different guests that we do have. So some of the things that he did hint on when it came to our history was the fact that...
You want to introduce the gentleman's name?
I thought you did this.
Well, we can do it again?
Okay, go on.
Yeah, thank you. Dr. George Sifa Day. He is a professor at U of T. His subject matter is in the Department of Social Justice. So any areas of anti-racism education, development education, and as well as, of course, indigenous knowledge and anti-colonial thought. His lecture was on the coloniality of existence, Africa in scholarship and museums. It's a mouthful, isn't it?
That's why I made you say it.
Made me say it?
You see?
Thank you very
I
much.
had to get out of that one. Right. Lecture notes. So we took some small notes, just some things to look at. But we pulled out the stuff again that we think we're going to be utilizing here.
Yes.
So I'll go through them really quickly just so you kind of have an idea of some shows that we might be looking into. So we're looking into the idea that Africa, I said African because of course spelling error, was not waiting to be discovered by Europe. So there is that false misconception that like Africa was just this like savage place.
Yes.
With barbarians and cannibals who were waiting to be civilized. Wrong. Okay, so that's the first thing. The de-Europeanization of the mind.
Yes.
So what does this mean? We were talking about conditioning. So conditioning, Dr. Amos Wilson's book would be perfect for this type of topic about how a lot of our minds as Africans in the diaspora have been Europeanized.
Yes.
It's okay. It
happens.
is what it is.
Yes, it is.
But now we have to find a way to de-Europeanize it.
Yes.
Okay? So Africanness and Blackness do not begin in 1492.
Yes, I think this is probably a mainstay, especially in regards to African History Month.
Yeah.
Right, where of course, you know, we have a lot of people out there, a lot of organizations. They simply start exactly at 1492.
That was the day Black people began. 1492.
Yes.
We go past that, okay? Don't mean to be facetious, but like,
But by means, yes.
we go past that, okay? And we're going to be going into it. So don't worry. Again, some of this stuff is not known. A lot of us are ignorant to it. I was ignorant to it up to a few years ago. So it's a learning process. So
Correct.
don't even feel a ways. Okay. Who is included or excluded when discussing Blackness in Canada?
You know, that's a huge thought.
Yeah.
Because of course, you know, everybody's got their perception, right? In regards to what is truly Blackness, even though of course that the definition of Black.
And I guess this would touch into that whole interracial marriages and things like that. When you
Right.
have mixed breed children,
Exactly. Do we now consider them to be?
are they Black? Are they white?
Are we using?
Are they both?
You know, are we using traditional European thought and the one drop rule, or are we using like African drop in regards to like you got that one drop of European blood, then
So you're not really Black.
right? So
Okay, so those type of things. All right. Transnational mobility.
once again, leading back to, of course, you know, we've been a people in survival mode for a very long time.
Yeah.
You know, of course, when it comes to now, of course, the nature, you know, being an enemy, or simply, you know what, the invaders, right, coming in by means, of course, and forcing us to basically uproot and
Yes.
continue to be on the move.
Yes. Very nomadic.
Yes,
I used to love that word. When I first learned it, man, I used it all the time.
I can see you doing that.
I swear, nomadic. Okay. Sounds like a... Okay, I'll stop. So I like this one.
Okay,
We cannot escape our Blackness.
it's true.
I like it.
Yes.
So it doesn't matter how much you bleach your skin. It doesn't matter how proper you sound. If you're Black, you're Black. All right. Good? Do we need to go any further into
no,
that?
by means not.
Okay. Anti-Black racism and racism are different. So this is something that I would love to have a discussion on with definitely like someone like Uncle Louis.
Yes, Uncle Louis, definitely.
Yes.
I know he would definitely be a wonderful person to go ahead and define this, or even, you know, Dr. Day as well. You know, some by means, you know, if we can definitely reach out to him at some point in time to have him come in and explain this thought.
Oh, he's coming in.
Amen.
Amen. All right. African community development must make ethical sense.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
With this, when it says it must make ethical sense, we have to find ways of building our community the right way. And when I say the right way, it doesn't mean the way that someone assumes is the right way, but really looking at our history. And this is why it's important to know our history.
Yes.
Again, speaking about Black Wall Street, it was done before. It can be done again. We
Right.
just have to do it properly.
Right.
With ethics,
Right.
treating people properly.
Right.
With morality.
Correct.
Okay. So this one will go on, but not too long. Assist us in being academic warriors.
Yes, this part definitely moved me. There isn't, if not now, more than ever, there is a need for scholarship.
Yes.
Right, there is a need for educators, unapologetic educators.
Yes.
Right, when it comes to, of course, displaying us in the correct light. Right.
Who are not afraid of their Blackness.
Exactly.
Okay.
Right. I'm sure there are various and countless solutions. The by means, of course, we will go ahead and offer some here to our guests. Right. But by means, the need for African warriors, scholars, teachers, educators, you know, we need y'all.
We need y'all. We here doing it, but we need a whole bunch of us. And we do have a whole bunch of us
Yes,
doing
we do.
it still.
Yes, we
Okay.
do.
So we have Mr. Robert Small, who we spoke about earlier.
Yes.
And we have Warren Simon, who's helping him out.
Yes.
And I would like to speak about a couple things before we go off. We only have a little bit of time left, but I wanted to mention some people because we were speaking about Project Invest earlier.
Invest, yes.
So again, investing back into our community. So First Fridays, I don't know if anyone's ever heard of First Fridays, but I had a very great experience there. I was allowed to speak there about some of my personal experiences. First Fridays happens every first Friday of the month. They've been having it at Fuse lately.
Yes.
So I don't know if it's there all the time, but I believe it is there.
Some months it's there. I'm not sure they do various locations.
They do.
But
They might, I think. But I know in Toronto, that's where it has been. It's meeting and socializing with other entrepreneurs, other people who may be ahead of you, who may be behind you. But again, we can all learn from each other.
Yes.
Right? So we can't forget, we have to eat in all of this. At some point, we got to eat. So I'm going to pick up a place that I got to visit, and I'm going to be visiting again in the future,
All
the
right.
Jerk Spot. Simone and Gary, you have a story, and we are going to get to you. You are one of those business that we are going to invest our time. You have a story. They traveled here from Jamaica, and they've been doing it. They've been working hard, pushing themselves, doing what they need to do up here. So we want to get your story too. So we're going to be getting at you. Don't worry. And then, of course, we have left the best for last. Carib Media Corp.
Yes.
So let's talk about what's happening here at Carib Media Corp. Carib Media Corp has brought you my TCN TV network.
Yes.
It has brought you Carib 101 Radio Without Boundaries. It also brings you the Toronto Caribbean newspaper. We are everywhere and doing great things and supporting our community.
That's right.
And filling in those gaps for entrepreneurs who do not have time to do everything. One of the biggest gaps I see is advertising. It's crazy. Listen, if you're in business, I'm going to tell you this right now. First thing, you can't do everything. So give it up. Stop thinking you can. Another thing is, when you reach out for help, if you do need help, first of all, never be afraid to ask for help.
Correct.
Because we all need it. When you are an entrepreneur, you wear many different hats, and there are just certain things that you're just good at, especially when it comes to what you're specifically involved in. If you make makeup, if you create makeup or body skin products, or if you're a tutor, or you sell clothing, this is what you want to be doing. You don't want to be worrying about some of this other stuff like advertising. So you're so focused on what you're doing that you forget that you have to advertise. It's the only way for you really to get out there.
Close to 30,000 viewers,
and readers.
Yes.
That's what's going on over here. So
per issue. So imagine that, and we distribute twice for the month.
All right.
So that's 60,000.
Up to 60,000
viewers.
People who could be seeing in your paper, seeing your business.
Exactly.
At a
seeing
given
your
time.
ideal. Yeah.
So, to end all of that, I want to say again, thank you to everybody. I want you guys to think about some of the things that you can do for yourself, and I want you to think about how we, of course, here at Carib Media Corp, can help you go further in your business, in your life. If you want to promote yourself, if you want to promote a friend, please feel free. Watch us again. Watch some of our other great shows that come on. The Gloves Are Off business show.
Shout out to Maurice with the real estate show.
Real estate. I've learned a lot about real estate, but definitely listen to Mr. Maurice.
With CMJ himself.
Yes.
Always on the go. I seen that last show out in Durham, brother. You're doing beautiful things.
Miss Keisha.
Yes.
Keep doing your thing, girl. We as a team are growing. We're building. We thank you. We will see you next week. Please
Peace and love,
share.
family.
Please send it out. Peace and love.
Yes.